Hey everyone, in my first video, I want to break down why I think the Habs will be the next NHL Dynasty and why I think they'll win multiple cups with their current young core. On July 7th, 2021, the Montreal Canadiens lost 1-0 to the Tampa Bay Lightning, dropping the Stanley Cup final in 5 games. Right after that season, Montreal officially entered a rebuild and a new era began. This started on January 18th, 2022, when Kent Hughes took over from Mark Bergevin as GM, and then continued on February 9th, 2022, when Martin St. Louis replaced Dominic Ducharme as head coach. In just 37 games after St. Louis was hired, Cole Caulfield finished the season with 22 goals and 35 points, proving just how lethal of a goal scorer he really is. At the end of the 2021-22 season, the Habs finished dead last in the NHL with only 55 points. That result would lead them to the first overall pick in arguably the most important draft of this new era. Heading into the draft, Montreal's key pieces for the future included Nick Suzuki, Cole Caulfield, and Caden Gooley. At the draft, Montreal traded Alex Romanoff and the 98th overall pick to the New York Islanders for the 13th overall pick. Then they flipped the 13th overall and 66th overall pick to Chicago for Kirby Dach. Kirby's been plagued by injuries, but I still think he has real potential to be a solid piece for the Canadiens moving forward. With the first overall pick in the 2022 NHL Draft, the Canadiens selected Juraj Slafkovsky. In the weeks leading up to the draft, scouts had Slafkovsky pegged as the number 1 pick, with Shane Wright falling in the rankings. Montreal passing on Wright was a surprise to some people, but especially to Shane himself. But maybe the biggest move in the draft happened at 62nd overall, where the Habs selected 5'8" offensive defenseman Wayne Hudson from the U.S. National Development Program. Looking back, I think Hudson would go first overall in the 2022 redraft. To kick off the 2022-23 season, the Habs named Nick Suzuki team captain, a clear sign that this was a brand new era of Habs hockey. Montreal finished the season 28th overall with 68 points. Not great, but still a solid jump from the previous year. Unfortunately, the team was plagued by injuries to key young players like Caulfield, Dach, Slafkovsky, and Gooley. Suzuki still led the team with 66 points in 82 games. Dach put up a respectable 38 points in 58 games, and Caulfield scored 26 goals and 36 points in only 46 games, which was very impressive. Slafkovsky had a tough rookie season, though, finishing with just 10 points in 39 games. Meanwhile, Wayne Hudson absolutely dominated in the NCAA, with BU putting up 48 points in 39 games, solidifying himself as the steal of the draft. Just days before the 2023 draft, Montreal acquired Stanley Cup champion Alex Newhook from Colorado for the 31st and 37th pick, plus Gianni Fairbrother. With the 5th overall pick in the 2023 draft, the Canadiens selected Austrian defenseman David Reinbacher, who had a strong draft season playing in Switzerland. Reinbacher's dealt with injuries, but I think he still has some top 4 potential and could be a solid piece in Montreal's top 4 defense going forward. At 69th overall, Montreal drafted, in my opinion, their future starting goalie, Jacob Fowler, who had just won the Clark Cup in the USHL with Youngstown. Between Fowler and Montembeault, the Habs are set in the net going forward. In 2023-24, the Habs once again finished 28th overall, but with 76 points. Another steady improvement from the previous season. Suzuki again led the team with 77 points, Caulfield had 28 goals and 65 points, and Slafkovsky bounced back with 50 points in 82 games, including 35 in his final 40 games. It was the tale of two halves for Slafkovsky. Kirby Dach was sidelined just 2 games into the season due to a major injury. Wayne Hudson had another elite year at BU, scoring 49 points in 38 games. He was then called up for the final 2 games of the NHL season and didn't disappoint, grabbing 2 assists in 2 games and buzzing around the ice with his elite edges. At the 2024 draft, the Canadiens once again held the 5th overall pick. Before the draft, there was a lot of buzz about Ivan Demidov falling in the rankings due to the Russian factor and his size, even though he was 5'11", 6 feet tall already. Sure enough, he dropped right into Montreal's lap. The Habs pounced. He had 1 year left on his KHL deal and looked like the second coming of Kucherov. At 21st overall, Montreal selected Michael Hague, who had 75 points in 54 games with the Chicago Steel, and he also grew up a Habs fan. He's projected to be the second-line center under Suzuki in the future. At this point, Montreal's core was loaded. Suzuki, Caulfield, Dach, Newhook, Hudson, Demidov, Hague, Gooley, Reinbacher, Montembeault, and Fowler. You'd think it couldn't get much better. Or could it? Montreal kicked off the 2024-25 season by acquiring the controversial Patrick Laine in a 2026 second-round pick from Columbus in exchange for defenseman Jordan Harris, who didn't figure into Montreal's long-term future plans anyway. And the 2024-25 season turned out to be a huge success after all. The Canadians made the Stanley Cup playoffs for the first time in 4 years, finishing 5th in the Atlantic and snagging the final wildcard spot thanks to a shitty Metropolitan division. Suzuki had 89 points in 82 games, firmly establishing himself as one of the best two-way centers in the entire NHL. Caulfield put up an impressive 37 goals, 70 points. He also showed growth in his goal scoring, but in the playmaking as well, he grew a lot. Lane Hudson was flat out historic. 66 points in 82 games as a rookie defenseman. He led all rookies in scoring. In fact, he was only the fourth defenseman to do that in the modern era. He also had the most rookie assists by a defenseman in Habs history. Slafkovsky had another strong season with 51 points in 79 games. Laine also chipped in with 33 points in 52 games. He scored a lot in the power play, but 5-on-5 and defensively he wasn't great. And Ivan Demidov, he had a historic season over in Russia, putting up 49 points in 65 games, breaking Kirill Kaprizov's record for most points by a player under 20. Just like Hudson, he was called up late in the season and made an instant impact, scoring a goal and adding an assist in his NHL debut. Michael Hague had a great freshman season with Michigan, 34 points in 33 games, and followed it up with 4 points in 2 playoff games. In the first round of the playoffs, the Canadians faced the President's Trophy-winning Washington Capitals. They ended up losing the series in 5 games, but gained huge experience. Lane Hudson led the team in playoff scoring with 5 points in 5 games. Caulfield had 4, and Suzuki, Demidov, and Slafkovsky each had 2. Despite the point totals, Slafkovsky was arguably the best player on the first line, battling in the corners, retrieving pucks, and showing off his physical dominance. Demidov also showed flashes of greatness after just 2 regular season games under his belt before the playoffs. Then, to top it all off, on the morning of June 27th, Montreal made another blockbuster move. They acquired Noah Dobson from the Islanders, a big right-shot defenseman who put up 70 points in 2023. In return, the Habs sent the 16th and 17th overall picks and Emil Heineman to the Islanders. At the 2025 draft, Montreal added more depth by selecting Alexander Zurovsky at 34th overall and LJ Mooney, Logan Cooley's cousin, at 113th overall. Both players look like promising future contributions, whether that Zurovsky being in the top 6 or LJ Mooney being in the bottom 6. They both look like they could definitely make the NHL and help out this core. So, after years of smart drafting, slow and steady development, and very strategic and smart trades, Montreal is ready to take on the league. They are young, fast, and have a lot of skill. This team has elite talent, they are building depth, and of course, they have some experience now. If you enjoyed my first video, please comment down below and like and subscribe.